Hello, everyone. My name is Felix Ogboko. I want to welcome you to my presentation on records, management challenges, and strategies in virtual project teams. And this presentation was developed for Computer Science 605, that's project management for information systems, and it explores how organizations can strengthen information management in digital and remote collaboration environments. So let's look at the background information and the context within which this research is carried out. So we see that virtual teams, have become the norm in today's global and hybrid work setting. Teams rely heavily on cloud systems, collaboration platforms, and AI-driven tools to manage communication and documentation. But however, without effective record management, organizations face risks such as data loss, version control conflicts, compliance breaches, and reduced accountability. So that's why understanding how to manage records in virtual settings is essential for project transparency and long-term success. Yeah, so now I want us to look at the study objective. This study has four main objectives. As you can see, the first one is to identify key challenges in managing records in virtual teams, and also to analyze existing strategies and technologies that is used in records and information management. The third one is assess their effectiveness, and we also focus on their limitation. And then we want to propose direction for future research. The study draws insight from literature published between 2021 and 2025, highlighting both emerging trends and persistent issues that people have seen and identified so far. So, the research questions. The research questions that I have identified here. Just a minute. Okay, so let me quickly. So the research questions, this study was guided by several research questions. And we want to look at what are the primary challenges affecting records management in virtual teams. We're also looking at which strategies are most effective for overcoming these issues. And we're looking at how can AI and digital tools improve record controls and compliance, which are very important. And last but not the least is what human and cultural factors influence adoption and sustainability. So these questions are what are going to be shaping the structure of the analysis and the recommendations that I follow in this research. So now let's look at the major challenges that are associated with this research. The first set of challenges involve infrastructure and consistency. So, according to Deloitte 2024, inconsistent access and fragmented storage system lead to major inefficiencies. IBM also in 2022 finding revealed that poor version control also causes confusion and duplication across shared platforms. Therefore, in virtual teams where collaboration happens asynchronously, These technical gaps can severely impact data integrity and project timelines. The second part of the major challenges that I'm focusing on is, it centers on security, privacy, and compliance. As we know, cross-border collaboration introduces legal and regulatory complexities. As noted by PwC in 2025, we found out that over 20, over 60%, as shown here, of organizations reported difficulties maintaining audit trail in distributed teams. Well, beyond technical risks, human and cultural barriers such as inconsistent record-keeping practices and weak leadership oversight. Those also threaten record accuracy and accountability. And we also have long-term digital preservation, which adds another layer of difficulty, especially as technology evolves. So now I want us to look at key strategies and approaches to mitigate those challenges that we've listed so far. Organizations are responding to several strategies. They are implementing centralized document management systems, which clear, which state clear policy framework that guides how records management are handled. And of course, regular training and workflow automation help ensure compliance and consistency. Also, there is need for AI to supporting metadata tagging, with content search and risk detection. However, with all these tools are effective only when supported by strong leadership and culture that values record integrity. If that is not there, then we might not be going nowhere. So now let's look at how to synthesize the strategy. How can we um, marry all the strategies together in order to have a focused direction for effective results in record keeping practices? So successful records management in virtual environment requires a social technical balance. There's a trade-off between centralized and flexibility. Centralization of record keepings and, flexibility, and then automation and transparency, and also policy and practice. The most effective system blend technology innovation with human judgment. So what I mean by this is, even though technology is engaged in the process of managing records, human judgment is also very important to make informed decision. So hybrid governance, combining digital tools with organizational insight, has emerged as a best practice for achieving accountability and efficiency. So now let's look at the status of the field. Yeah, so current research in this area remains largely qualitative. Many studies describe issues, but few provide empirical data and standardized models for evaluation. We noticed that recent work also through research by the International Council on Archives 2025 introduced the AI-supported records maturity index, which may help assess readiness and capability across organizations. See, there is a need for more evidence-based research linking record management performance to organizational outcomes. Well, so let's look at the future research direction. Future research should explore areas such as adaptive compliance, like things like blockchains, based preservation, and ethical AI for automated record keeping. There's also growing interest in designing behavioral interventions that encourage better record practices. Low bandwidth tools could improve inclusion in resource constrained settings, while performance metric will help measure the true impact of digital record systems, not just basing our approach on assumptions. Yeah, so there's always a place to land. So the conclusion of the matter. So in conclusion, effective record management in virtual project teams is both a technical, as has been established, and organizational challenge. So centralized systems, workflow automation, and AI are critical, but so are training, governance, and culture. The goal is to build systems that are adaptive, systems that are ethical, systems that are transparent in order to ensure accountability and trust across global teams. Well, we're able to get to this stage looking at the work of others, the work that people have done to ensure that we have clarity to how records management work in a virtual environment. So the references in working, the insights in this presentation draw from recent studies, including works by Arad Dotter et al. 2023. We also have Jordan et al. 2022, Kimura et al. 2024, Guterres Guterres et al. 2023, and leading industry reports from Deloitte, PwC, and ICA. And that's between the period of 2023 and 2025. These resources together reinforce the findings and recommendations that I present before you today. I appreciate you so much for your time, and hopefully, as we keep researching and looking deeply on the best way to manage records in order to achieve the best and enhance results. I hope you will come along with me. Thank you very much for your time. Hope to see you again.